Hello everybody. We are out here this morning in the garden. Look at the little lights I put out today. Aren't those cute? I can't wait to see how they look at night. This is my sage. I should probably cut that back, but I think that I'm not going to do that this year. I think that this year I'm going to just let that sage bush do what it does and just let it get its big abundant self and let it get tall. I saw where in the garden, because sage is abundant, it's a perennial, so it comes back every year very strong. And we're just in the spring months and look at it already. And then I saw when I was watching Megan Sussex, the Duchess Megan's show, where the rosemary and the basil and the sage was so high and abundant. And I said, you know what? I'm going to let mine get that big. I am. I tend to trim mine back, and that does give it a more bushier appearance. But I think that I'm going to stake it, and I'm going to just let it grow nice and tall. I am. I may cut back some of the the more bushier ones, but I think I'm going to train it up just like she's done. Let's see what it does. But anyway, I'm out here today and I have got basil that I grew from seed. I've got dill that I grew from seed. I've got cilantro that I grew from seed. And I've got parsley that I grew from seed. And remember what I told you guys about these, this smaller container. This is just a file cabinet, a little small file cabinet, and I use this to establish my herb garden. One thing I got to tell you is that when you are getting ready, if you're going to do an herb garden inside of your garden, you want to make sure that you do some research. Don't just put any old thing in here. Like, say for instance, if you put if you put mint in here, you will regret it with your whole life. Nothing in the mint family can go next to your regular herbs, because mint is so abundant, it will completely take over everything. It will grow over everything, choke out everything. It's non-stopping. Kind of think of like bamboo, only an herb. Okay? All right. I like to, put my basil here. Oh, and then we want a good 10-10-10 in here. And I like to put my basil down in here. And then I just kind of go around it. And that's it. That's all. Put a little 10-10-10 on top. And that's it. And then my dill, we shall put this right here. What's the dealio? Yeah, it's my nerdy side. Isn't that beautiful? All from seed. All from seed. And then the same thing. Little 10-10-10. And just let that do its thing. Cilantro. I think I shall put cilantro over here. Far away from parsley, because even though I can tell the difference, my husband still can't. So when I say, hey babe, go out there and get me some cilantro, sometimes he brings me back parsley, or vice versa. And they look the same to an untrained eye, but they are not the same. And then we want to put our parsley over here. Put our 10-10-10 down in there. Stick our parsley down in there. These are my favorite things to grow in these containers because, like I said, they are biodegradable. They will just break down and feed your soil. Put a little on top. Let's give our sage a little bit. I like the Scots because the Scots is a great 10-10-10 fertilizer. And not only that, but it won't burn your plants. Some fertilizers will burn, so you have to be careful about the fertilizer that you choose. And that is the start of our herb garden. We've also got some valerian root in there. We've got some lavender in there. A few other things we've got in there. I can't wait to marjoram we've got in there. They're still not ready to come out, but they'll get there. And this is from the inside of my garden. And that planter over there is what I call my pollination station. It's where I put my spring mix every year. It makes a beautiful mix of flowers. It attracts your pollinators, your good pollinators, like your bumblebees, your ladybugs, your praying mantises. I know that sounds like a dastardly name, but praying mantises are actually good in your garden. And then I will be putting in my trap plants. A trap plant is a plant. These are one of the first flowers that I will put inside of my garden every year because they deter bad pests and attract your pollinators. But you can get plants like you can get pests like aphids, and an aphid infestation will annihilate your garden. You will be out here fighting for your life. But if you plant a trap plant, like say those are my tomato buckets over there. It's about time for them soon enough because our tomatoes are thriving in the greenhouse. If you over there, if you plant a trap plant, like say sunflowers, I don't know how sunflower farmers do it because sunflowers attract aphids, so they have to be using something chemical. They have to be for people who just farm sunflowers. But if you're not using chemicals, the aphids love them, and that's what we call us gardeners call a trap plant. It's the plants that you plant to bring all of the pests over to it and to leave the rest of your garden alone. And remember, our garden is just file cabinets that I got cheap off Amazon. I put holes in them. I primed them, sanded them if they needed sanding, painted them with the protective coating. They are literally made out of the same material as your raised meadow beds, which I have some in the other parts of the garden. And they are food safe. And you save them from going to the landfill, and you can style them. Okay, bye.